Hey guys, today we're going to do a feature video. I figured the first one we do should be of the Corvette that is in the intro. So let's get the show on the road. So this one is a 2011 Grand Sport Z51 package. It is a 3LT. It is in supersonic blue, which I believe only 540-ish Grand Sports were done in 2011 in supersonic blue. This is the color we wanted. We searched it out. We found it on Carvana. It was somewhere in the Arizona, Oklahoma area. And it came in with 17,000 miles on it. We got the car in December of 2021. It is now August of 2023, and the car has 44,600 miles, somewhere around there. So as the license plate says, we do drive it. We do have some windshield stickers on this car. We consider it a badge of the miles you're putting on, the cruises you've done. We've done quite a few in this car. We've done quite a few in the truck, dating all the way back to 2015 Power Tour, and before that, I've been doing cruising the coast for the last 13 years. This will be year number 13. Last year was our first year in this car. So let me show you some of these and explain them to you. Natchez Trace 2022. That was from Natchez to Jackson. We did on the Trace. Every year we're going to go a little further north. This was the Tour the Coast Power Cruise in 2022. That was year number 7. This year, obviously year number 8. We'll have a new sticker on there. This was our Tail of the Dragon trip 2023. And this was the Natchez Trace Tour 2023. I think we're going to end up moving these because I don't really want that many in the front. I think we're going to start putting them back here in the hatch glass on the side. So more about the car. The car has an LS3, as I said, a little over 44,000 miles, maybe almost 45. The only work done is an air filter. It's an Attack blue air filter. That's all. Change the oil. That's it. The Z51 package is the bigger brakes. You get the brakes that the Z06 get. So the only option the 3LT didn't come with was the leather wrapped dash, which becomes a problem. They start to peel up in the heat. This particular model did not come with the NPP exhaust, which I added on this one. I'll show you that in a minute. It also did not come with the New Balance shoes or the jean shorts, which I don't plan on getting that option anytime soon. Maybe when I'm older I might. I'm not sure. Not against it. So the difference between the Grand Sport and the Z06 is of course the engine. Biggest thing, 427 in the Z06. Transmission you can only get standard in the Z06. We wanted to take the top off, which you cannot do in the Z06, and we also wanted an automatic. We just want to drive, put it in D and go. What we do with the car, it works perfect for what we wanted, so we ended up getting the Grand Sport. We do have the glass top to put on it, but it's South Louisiana. You don't want that glass top in the middle of the summer, so we've got it hanging in the house and we take it out in the winter. Now, I've been a car guy my entire life. I can't remember a time that I was not into cars. Even when I was a child, I had tons of Hot Wheels, I'm sure as all of you did. We had Legos that we would build dragsters out of. Just always a car guy. There was a guy that lived down the street from us growing up that had a 67 Camaro. Didn't know the guy then. Every now and then he'd start that car up and I'd hear it warming up and I'd just go wait outside because I knew what he was going to do. He'd get in it and he would fly by my parents' house, just go in one direction. A few minutes later, he'd fly coming back down, just high revving 327, and it was amazing. Years later, I got to meet that guy, got to explain to him what that car meant to me and how it shaped my childhood. That guy's name is Mike. He now owns old Blue Hair, Green Nova, that was built on the TV show on Power Nation. So we'll probably do a video on that one as well. But for now, let's get back to the Corvette. Like I said, I've been a car guy all my life. And what that means usually is you take care of your cars, you drive them well, and you don't rub curbs. I have done that twice in this car on 2 separate occasions. One front wheel, one rear wheel. And it doesn't feel good. I've never rubbed the curb before. I finally get one of my dream cars and I do it twice. I'll show you. So the C6 started in 2005. The electronics in the cars are from 2005. That's the downfall. They didn't really upgrade much. They did a radio change. They did a seat change, which was better for some people. I don't like the newer ones, I like the old ones. But the electronics, no good. We took the radio out. We put a different, we put a Sony radio in for navigation, Apple CarPlay, all the good stuff. Sound system was a Bose system. I took that out too. I put kicker, put a couple of 8s in the back, some 6 3/4 in the front door, and 3-inch in the upper door. So growing up a car guy in a non-car guy family, your family cars were not amazing. There were some station wagons in there. There were some vans in there. So I always saw the Corvette as something that only rich people had. Never thought I would have one. The dream Corvette for me, and a lot of people, is the C6 ZR1, which at time of filming now, they are going for about 90 grand and above. You can find some in the 70s, but it's a lot of miles on them. But like I said earlier, when you're wanting to just put it and drive and go, and you want to take the top off, the ZR1 is not the car for you. If you want the wide body looks, which is what the Grand Sport is over the base model, you're going to get the Grand Sport. You get it in automatic, take the top off. You get somewhat of the looks of the ZR1, but the luxury of all the others. Gonna open it up. I'm gonna show you what we've done to the car. Like I said, the car, when we got it from Carvana, I don't know if you've ever looked on Carvana, but they have where you can take the car virtually and spin it around, and it'll show you where there's blemishes. Well, on this car, they spotted 3 blemishes and pointed that out. Once we got the car, I really only found one of them, and it was just a GM factory paint flaw. It wasn't a chip, it wasn't anything, a scratch. And the other 2 that they noted, I couldn't find them. So if you're wondering about getting a car from Carvana, I've had no issues. I'm very happy with it. My brother also bought a Mustang. He's happy with it. So give it a shot. Let's get into the car. I'll show you what we've done. when we got the car, I realized it came with a pretty nice mat in the back. It's pretty thick. It's sound deadening as well as aesthetic, so I was pretty excited about that. I built this 8-inch sub enclosure here. Wanted a little bit of bass, not much. It does its trick for me. There are speakers in the rear that are there, but I covered them up. I didn't like them. The 8-inch subs down facing here, some 8-inch kickers. Does its job. Top still fits in here and does great. So going inside the car, it also came with the floor mats. That's not stock. One of the options it came with is the embroidered armrest. It's the back of the speaker box. There's the amp. 3-inch kicker up top and the 6 3/4-inch kicker down below. So like I said, all we've really done on the interior is change to a Sony head unit, and in the ashtray here we've got the mute button for the radar detector, the Escort 360, and next to that there's a rocker switch, two-way rocker switch, and that controls that NPP exhaust. The way a stock NPP exhaust works is it's got mechanical valves on the back on the exhaust, and when they are closed, your exhaust gases are passed through your muffler, which of course makes it quieter. When they're open, no mufflers, it just goes straight out the back. It's louder, better performance. But the electronics for the NPP on the stock unit, it's not always just open or close. It has some parameters it has to be to open up, like full throttle, you know, all these different parameters. So it's not always open or always closed. So I wanted the opposite. I wanted a button. I wanted it to be open. I wanted it to be closed. So I'll show you how I made mine work. The valves in the back are actuated by engine vacuum, but I didn't want to mess with the engine. So I have a little vacuum pump here. I have two 12-volt actuators here. Made this bracket to mount them to, and bought a bunch of hoses and fittings and wired them in. So when I hit the switch, it opens up this actuator, which is hosed into the back valves, and it turns on the vacuum pump and allows the vacuum to close the valves. When I press the rocker switch the other way, it actuates this valve, which then releases the pressure and opens the valves. I'll let you hear how it sounds. So about the stickers on the back, Cars and Coffee Lafayette, a buddy of mine and I started that a few years ago. We're doing pretty well with it. Almost 4,000 members on Facebook page. We have our events the last Saturday of every month around Lafayette, Louisiana. We do a lot for charity. That's what all of our merchandise sales and donations go to. And that sticker above it, that is my brother's maker's mark. His hobby was making knives, making guns, just blacksmith things in general. So everything he made, he would stamp it with that. He passed away at the age of 51 of a heart attack. So myself, my brothers, my parents, family members, we all have that mark on our car. Some of us have it tattooed. I don't have it tattooed yet, but I will, on our bodies. So we just like to keep his memory alive and carry his legacy on as long as we can. I think that's about it for the car. It's been a dream to own one my entire life. Here I am, 46 years old, and finally own one. Can't say enough about the car. It's a great car. It's done everything we've asked it. Great driver so far. Well, maybe I'm jinxing it, but. And of course, while I'm out here videoing, there's I'm at the end of a dead-end street here. Some of the signs were moved for some construction equipment, so I went around them, but of course there's a guy in a Mopar doing donuts over there. So if you're a teenager or a kid watching this video and you have a dream car in your mind that you think you will never own, don't give up, because I thought I'd never own one of these. And it's not the best car in the world, it's not the fastest car, it's one of the sexiest, but it's you know, to most people it's just a old piece of junk, but to me, it's what I dreamed about when I was a kid. So don't give up on that dream. I just checked the mileage to get an accurate number. It is 44,900. Got the car a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half, and it had 17,000. So that's almost 28,000 miles on the car. I have the Carfax on this car, and the first owner had it for 5 years and put 4,000 miles on it. It sat at the showroom for a year before it sold. It had 110 miles on it when it sold. The second owner put the rest of the 17,000 miles on it, and it was in the Oklahoma and Arizona area its entire life until it came down to South Louisiana. When we got it, it looked like it had never seen rain. The underneath of the car was absolutely spotless, but we have driven it, so it is dirty under there now. Not bad, but dirty. So like that license plate says, just drive it. So I know a lot of you want me to end this video with a nice long smoky burnout right down this dead end road. And I want to do that too. I lined up the car. I turned traction control off. I was going to do it. But then I thought, you know what? That is too damn expensive. I don't have enough subscribers or video views to justify burning out of my If I had more subscribers and more views on my videos, maybe I could justify it, but not today. But if you want to get in your car and do a long smoky burnout down the street, you go right ahead. As long as you're in it doing something, your car, your truck, whatever it is, cars and coffee, long smoky burnouts, just get out there and drive it.